It's too far apart. So if it's Y and you control it, it stamps it, and then you can move it along so it's equally spaced. Looks better, right? Then make that a group. Change the colour. If I make that white, yeah. Then if I pick this up and hide it behind that one. There we go. Now, as you can see, because of the material, you can see the stripe there, the white stripe on the white background. But once you change the paint back to gloss, you won't be able to see that. For example, it takes such a long time to save. Does this? I think I'll need a fresh one of those in a minute. I go back to default white. You can't see it now, look. If I miss a comment, boys, I'm sorry, because I'm doing it on the Xbox where the window's open at the side. Because the Mac is there, and our lass has taken the MacBook to work. So I have to do it this way. So if you miss a comment, sorry about that. Don't think I'm ignoring you. So, simple stripe. Quite effective. Now, obviously, back in the days, in the 1960s, race cars, they didn't have, from what I've seen, really grand designs. They're all kept kind of simple. But I'm just thinking what I can do to make it a bit more exciting. How about get a gradient? So again, that's not the orientation that I want. So if you use the size and you make it negative and shrink it down. Try and match up with that panel part there. Flames. How do I zoom in? Right, okay, so you click and hold the left thumbstick, and then you can push it forward to zoom in while keep it clicked in. Do it so long you get cramp. Yeah, there you go. Harry knows. Harry even. And while you got that clicked in, you can use the other stick to pan around. Yeah. But it's warm, guys, I'll tell you that. Now, I want to make the bottom part of that white. So rather than doing going to these shapes and picking another shape, if you just duplicate that shape, because it's a similar size to what I want, you can press change shape, change value shape, and then pick the square. Now I've got a rectangle, a solid rectangle, the same size and shape as that other one. There you go. In that group. Let's make that side a bit interesting. The end result of this might not look fantastic, but I'm just using this as a template card just to show you what is possible. I'm trying to think now. Right, let's put a tire on. So that's a solid shape. So if we make that black, so you get kind of the gradient effect behind the tyres, the tyre mark. But I don't like that shape. If you have a shape that you want to make bigger or smaller but keep the same ratio, for example, so I could see if I want to make that half as small, I could do this to 50 and then that to 50. Yeah? However, an easier way, if you press your right trigger, if you press your right trigger and highlight it, and then go to scale or size, it keeps the orientation and ratio. Now personally, I don't like that. I think that looks a bit poo. I don't like that either. What do you find is a base colour? For a matte effect, there's a couple of ways of doing it, but you can run into problems when you start putting shapes of the same colour over the top of it. Like I showed earlier, if I made this kind of matte white, but then even though you're putting a white shape on top of it, because the way the light works in Forza, you can still see the stripe. I'll show you what I mean. It takes so long to save. So you got two-tone matte there with standard. However, I don't know about you guys, but that says gold, but looks more matte. Do you get me? Chrome, really? Is it really chrome? Because you got another chrome over here, which looks more like chrome. Anyway, matte. Now, you can quite easily, if you go for the carbon fibre, like that. Obviously, if you get it close, you can see the carbon fibre weaving it. So if you pick carbon fibre, the matte one, go to apply decals, and then apply. Now this doesn't work on all cars, and you can run into little bugs, little errors that make it difficult. But see, if I wanted like a matte orange, for example, then you just put one massive rectangle over the side of the car, and it retains the matte effect. Do you get me? So obviously on this one, you just put one on the top, copy it, top. I'll just do. So, there you go, it's a matte orange. Wrap the car with the colour. Not quite sure what you mean. There you go, a matte orange Mustang. Reminds me of Dukes of Hazzard. But the other way of doing it is, as well, is sing and sing. I think if you go to the, it also, that little trick works as well with, I think if you pick the matte version of the camouflage ones as well, then put a big shape over it. It's a slightly different texture to the carbon fibre one. But I'll show you what I mean by if you use the gold one. In fact, let's just try see what happens with the two-tone matte. If I make both of them colours the same. I'll try and cover that a bit later on Terminator. So that's black. So that's another way you can do it. Then obviously there's no carbon fibre weave. But putting so technically if I put a black square on that, you shouldn't be able to see the match. It should be the same, but we'll see. What time is it? In regards to the decals, Terminator, it's practice and using spacing. Some logos you can just do off the top of your head, and it's quite simple to do. Some it takes a bit of time to get all the sizing right to make it look accurate. Yeah, you can. So on the two-tone matte, you can, yeah. So there's a base colour and a highlight colour. So a bit like the pearlescence on the old game. But let me see if I put a vinyl shape on this. So for example, if I load a shape, actually, let's load a shape from before. There you go, Coleman's number 8. So if I put that there, so it looks like you can't see. Try it on the top where it's a bit more light. Yeah, so there's no outline on the black, can you see? So that's one way of doing it. Yeah, it would, Cornwolf. So yeah, so make your base colour using the two-tone matte. Make sure they're both the same colour. You can use the numbers to do that. It also has little numbers for the hue and the saturation and the brightness, and that might work. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a logo then. I'll try and do one from scratch.